Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Naomi, and let's dream about beauty. In today's video, I am going to show you how I am going to make my very own everyday eyeshadow palette using my eyeshadow singles. So if you'd like to see the palette that I come up with for my everyday usage, then just keep on watching. Okay, so some of you may have watched a recent video that I did where I did 3 looks, 1 palette with the new Norvina Volume 4. And I left that video feeling a bit badly. And I think the reason why is because I felt that I wasn't able to successfully pull off using just that palette to pull off the 3 looks that I wanted to do. So I kind of felt like my skills were lacking, and I felt badly about myself. And then I gave myself a stern talking to, because I don't really need to follow anybody else's rules. I can make 3 looks, 1 palette. I could do 3 looks, 3 palettes. I can do what I want to do, and whatever way works best for me is the way that works best for me, and I need to stop worrying about what other people think. Part of the reason that I'm doing this YouTube channel is as a way to cope with my anxiety and to force myself to put myself out there in a way that makes me vulnerable, so that I can potentially I'm not trying to thicken up my skin a bit, but I'm just trying to focus on doing things that make me happy and not worrying so much about how other people feel about it. So with that said, I thought to myself, well, what can I do in future situations where I come across a palette that challenges me like that? And I thought, well, I would put together an everyday palette using my singles of the shades that I feel that I need every day to help me use any palette successfully. So that's what I'm going to do. And so let's just jump right into this. Okay, so I'm going to start. So this is, I think a 9-pan palette would be the perfect size for an everyday palette. So I'm going to fill up this empty magnetic palette. And my ideal everyday palette would have a white shade. So this is the shade Geisha, I'm not sure how to pronounce that properly. And this is from Luxie. And it's not a strong white. That's it there, swatched. And this would be nice to help brighten up above the eyeshadow. Okay, so next, my ideal everyday palette would have a brow bone, like a bone shade. I'm just flipping through my palettes looking for. So this is Makeup Geek Shadow, and it's called So Pale. And you're not going to be able to see that very well because it's almost the exact color of my skin, which is what I'm looking for. So that will be nice to use as a fade shade to help blend out along the edges of shadows. Okay, so next, my ideal everyday palette has a cool toned transition shade. So I'm going to dive right back into my Makeup Geek shadows. And I'm going to, grab this shade, and it's called Friend Zone. So that is a nice cool toned brown that I can use in my transition area. Okay, so next, my ideal everyday palette would have a neutral brown. And this is the shade Creased, also from Makeup Geek. So that is just a very general mid-tone, neutral brown. Okay, so next, my ideal palette has a dark brown shade. And it's cool toned, and this is the color Roasted from Looksy. That is a nice cool toned dark brown. Then my ideal palette for everyday use has a black in it. And for that, I'm going to use, although that's not a true black, I don't think that I have a true black in my singles. So I've got two, and this one is called Midnight Waltz. It is has a bit of gray to it. That would be fine for deepening up corners. Okay, so now my perfect everyday palette has sorry, I'm just looking at my list. We did white, bone, medium brown, cool brown, dark brown. Okay, so now we need a shimmer. We need a shimmer that is going to be suitable for the inner corner and highlighting underneath the brow bone. So I'm going to use the very iconic Shimma Shimma from Makeup Geek. Okay, so now my ideal palette has a silver in it, which is, because then you could do a nice color with the browns and then put some silver on your lid. So for the silver color, I am going to use color Starboy from Looksy. Oops, I forgot to continue swatching these, sorry. And then last but not least, my ideal palette is going to have a white shimmer. And for that, I'm going to use the color Glass Slipper. And there we have my ideal palette. We've got the white brow bone shade, or just a bone shade, I suppose. This is a cool tone brown, and this is a neutral brown. A dark brown, black. This is a light toned shimmer. This is a silver, and this is a white shimmer. And that is my everyday palette that will stay in my Shop My Stash area, and I will use that in conjunction with palettes whenever I feel like it. If I feel like I need to add to a palette to make it more successful for me, I will do so. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Time is our most precious resource, and when you spend a little bit of your time with me, I really appreciate it. I hope wherever in the world you are, you're well, you're healthy, and you're happy. I want to tell you how much I appreciate you coming by to check out my content. I hope that you will consider subscribing, liking, activating the notification bell, and commenting down below. What would your perfect everyday palette look like? Would you choose similar shades to mine, or would you have a little bit more color in there? And that's it from me for today. Take care, and bye-bye.